this edition of What to Watch with Your Popcorn. I'm Rob.
And I'm Dave.
And today we're going to be reviewing the classic Robert De Niro, Martin Scorsese film Taxi Driver, which is about a New York taxi driver who's a former Marine. He drives around at night and he criticizes the scum that he has to pick up off the streets. And basically it follows him through what he goes through. He thinks he wishes he could help the city and everything. Like he's kind of rooting for a politician, a senator who's running for president, and he sees an underage prostitute who's about 13 years old that he wants to try and help and get out of that business. So, okay, Dave, let's start with you. What's your thoughts on Taxi Driver? Have you seen this before?
I had always seen like bits and pieces of it when it was on TV, but I had never seen it like all the way through until now, and I really think this is a great movie. I mean, it takes place in the 70s, and it was filmed in the 70s, and the scenery and the sets are just like really great. And all the actors in this movie are really great. You've got like a real all-star cast. You've got like Peter Boyle in here, who just recently passed away because he used to be on Everybody Loves Raymond. He played Raymond's father. Yeah.
Well, I don't know if I would call it an all-star cast, because with this movie, a lot of them were still at the start of their career. I don't think they were all quite famous yet. I know Jodie Foster was starting to become a big child star at the time, and De Niro had appeared in a few films like The Godfather Part 2, and like you, I'm really glad we're doing this What to Watch with Your Popcorn video because of these recommendations, because I know it's probably not going to make me look good, but I have never seen Taxi Driver before. I know. Yeah, I'm sure everybody at home is thinking the same thing too.
To me, it's like one of Martin Scorsese's best films.
Yeah, it's a very good movie, and I liked how it was shot because, De Niro's character's name is Travis, and the movie, from his point of view, it's mostly shot dark, like at night, because he hates the nightlife, like the druggies and the scum that come out. And when he's talking to a pimp in one scene, it's always in the dark shadows in front of a building. The only time it's bright out is when he starts to have a crush on a character named Betsy, played by Sybil Shepherd. He thinks she's beautiful and an angel and angelic looking. That part of the movie is really bright because I guess to show that it's really brightening his day, and that's the bright part of his life, trying to ask her out on a date and all that. So, but for the most part, and also this movie is shot like a documentary to me, because Scorsese started out doing documentaries. Like you have this movie, you follow a subject around, you go through and see what he experiences, kind of, even though it's a scripted movie. And also, whenever somebody goes into a building or goes someplace, the camera zooms in and zooms out. Right. So I think it makes it feel a little bit more real. And De Niro, it does such a good job at making his characters seem believable, like the real people, from the way they move, the way they talk, and all this. It feels like he's a real person. Of course, that's what De Niro's known for.
Yeah, just his mannerisms are like so realistic that you could like relate it to other people, and just like the stuff he does. Plus, this was the first film that he ever did the famous line, "Are you talking to me?" and all that, and then that carried on throughout a lot more of his films throughout the years. Yeah,
you mentioned that you thought everybody was good. I didn't like Sybil Shepherd's performance. I mean, she looked like right for the part, but I found her performance to be rather one note and bland. But on the other hand, what I liked with her is usually when somebody does a voiceover, they talk about how hot and sexy they are. They go through and says, look, she has beautiful eyes and all this other stuff. Here, De Niro has it where he says, oh man, she's an angel, and you just look at her, and I find it a little bit more, what's the word I'm looking for, a little bit more like proving the point rather than explaining to us why this character thinks that. I think it did a better job with that.
Yeah.
What else about the movie you like?
Getting back to like the scenery, I really like it because it really showed like how New York looked in the 70s and all that. How dirty the city really was, and compared to now, how it's a lot cleaner, and it basically like shows like what would go on at night there and everything, because basically that everything goes on at night around New York.
Again, it's shot like a documentary-like style, and I think that really helps make it feel good. And of course, what I liked about the movie too, you don't really know what's going through Travis's mind exactly. I mean, he writes stuff in his journal, and he's writing a letter to his family, and you see stuff but you don't exactly know what's he thinking, what's he really thinking. I think it really kept my interest with the movie.
Right.
And there were two things I didn't exactly like about Taxi Driver. For one, I wasn't always crazy about the music, because the guy who did it's Bernard Herrmann, and he used to score Alfred Hitchcock's movies. Sometimes I think the music kind of overtook the movie a little bit. When he's doing quieter, jazzy stuff, it worked. When he was doing like boom, 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 like loud music.
When he's doing all that suspenseful stuff, I mean, that's kind of, it's making it seem more like it's really a suspenseful movie, but it's really not. I mean,
well, in some ways it is.
Yeah, but it's just they were overdoing it with the music, especially like having it be like that in the beginning, like that, because it's kind of giving away that it's gonna get suspenseful later, but they wanted to like start it off on a lighter note, because it does, but he was getting over the top with that music.
And another thing I didn't like, without giving anything away, I didn't like the ending, at least at first, because it seems a little bit more uplifting. I mean, the movie seems to look like it's going in a darker direction. After I saw the movie, I'm not going to give anything away, we talked about this before the video, but I think, after thinking about it, I think maybe I might have mistook the ending, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I mean, I overall, I do recommend this movie. I don't know if there's anything else you disliked about the movie or anything else you
Not
liked.
really, no. I really like this movie.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm going to buy this movie.
Yeah. And plus, it's nice to see Jodie Foster, because I know you said you haven't seen her in a lot of movies.
Yeah, she's not in a whole lot of movies, and it's a shame that they didn't show her more in the movie, but then again, that's basically how her character worked, that they showed her a little bit in the beginning, and then they would show her later on and all that. But,
yeah.
but they could have given her more. I feel kind of that her talents were a little bit wasted in this, but...
Yes, maybe. I mean, after I watched this movie, I looked at other people's comments, and some people didn't know what this movie was about. They thought it might have been a love story, and then it goes in another direction. This movie, it's a character study. You follow Robert De Niro's Travis character. Yeah. So I think you experience what he experiences. And I definitely say Taxi Driver, to watch this with your popcorn. If you have not seen Taxi Driver, you got to go see this movie.
Yeah, this is a movie that, like, it makes you think about a lot of things, and that's what Scorsese was trying to do. But definitely, yeah, you gotta give this movie a rent. So
yeah, and of course, before we shot this video, Dave and I had a debate about what the movie was about, and maybe you can tell us what you think it's about. Okay, well, that's it for our video. Thank you very much for watching, and I want to thank Devin 1400 for recommending this movie as something for what to watch with your popcorn, and we hope you liked the video. So everybody, thank you for watching, and you know what to do. Leave your comments about the movie or about this video. Thanks again for watching.